Hello everyone, welcome back to the Limited Artesian. Gareth here, and in this video I'm going to share my tips on getting quick in the Formula Ford. When this car came out I was around 2200 iRacing and an A licence. It then cost me about 1000 iRacing and ended up as a C licence. Now that I've recovered my iRating from racing in this car, I thought I'd explain what I learned and hopefully it will help new drivers or people who are struggling to enjoy this car. It's one of my absolute favourites to race in, and maybe it will become one of yours too. So without further ado, here we go. The fastest way to go up through the gears with this car is to use the clutch. Keep your foot down on the throttle, dab the clutch, upshift and release. I actually use a button clutch on my wheel, so you might want to try that. Max Esterson, whose race car was scanned by iRacing for this build, recommends a lift shift with no clutch, but in the sim that doesn't seem to be quite as quick. FYI, with starts it's a full throttle launch. Clutch down, full throttle and release the clutch on the green lights. The absolute critical thing to be aware of with the Formula Ford is weight transfer. You're racing in a bathtub sized car and it's about as light as a bathtub as well. This makes the car really susceptible to very large weight shifts from rear to front during braking and turning. If you don't pay attention to that, you're going to spin a lot. With that in mind, do the majority of your downshifting while braking in a straight line. I use auto blip because I'm a lazy toe rag. If you don't use auto blip, make sure you blip on your downshifts or you're going to get very sketchy at the rear of the car. Because of the weight transfer sensitivity, how you corner it with this car is really important. You can use quick lifts of the throttle in faster corners to get the rotation you need without using the brake. Be wary of overturning the car though, as you will induce a spin. For slower corners you'll need to get your trail braking right. Too much brake and you'll spin, too little and you'll understeer. For hairpins especially, you can save your final downshift till deep in the corner. This will help rotate the car and enable you to quickly get back on the power again. The tyres are pretty hard on this car and they take a little while to come up to temperature. Personally, I tend to be cautious on my opening 2 laps as survival is more important than losing a place or two during that period of the race. You'll probably gain positions from overeager drivers forgetting the car is stone cold anyway, so just make sure one of them isn't you. This is a car that rewards an unstable rear end. If you can master it, then you're going to go quick. But I would recommend taking the time to learn how to drive it in a stable manner first. Focus on driving the car around without spinning on downshifting or turning, and get comfortable just doing basic laps. Once you've got a feel for the car and you understand the different bits of feedback you're getting from the tyres, then you can start adding in more slip and inducing the back of the car to be more unstable. This is where the lap time really comes from. You don't want to be full on power sliding as you're going to go slow, but when the back is loose you'll get faster rotation and can steer more with the brakes than with the wheel. There is so much time to be found mastering this technique, but it is tough to do. The 4K and up drivers in this car often look completely out of control in some parts of the track, but it is so fast. Well worth looking them up on Garage 61 if you can, or just save the replays of your races and practice what the fastest drivers from that race were doing. Get on the throttle fast and hard out of corners. Smooth acceleration can create understeer. You've not got a lot of power to play with and you need it to come in quick. I find if you've managed your entry to midpoint well, then you can be on full power really quickly mid-corner and just blast out of the corner. Well, there you go guys, 6 tips on the Ray Formula Ford 1600. Hope you found it useful. Please remember to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel if you did. That's all for this one. See you on track.